The question that we've been asked is, how can I do account analytics in my phone? To do that, this is an Android phone. You can do the same thing in iPhone as well, but I'm going to log in and I'm going to sign in and then go into my accounting screen. Now, every screen, as you know, has the question mark. Like if I'm on the client window and if I go into my contact, what I will be able to see is I'll be able to see the question mark icon. So like in my accounts, you'll see the question mark icon. So if I just click on the question mark icon, you'll get into analytical screen. You can choose a category that you want to actually do. You can do expense by client, fee book by client. There's so many categories. So I'm now choosing fee book by category. I'm going to do like a quarterly analysis, like from April till now, and I'll just do go. What it'll do is it'll do an analysis and it'll give you a view of how the fee books are by category, like how much money we made on immigration, how much on other stuff. Now if you want to see more, you can move the screen and you'll get 6 in the pie, 7 in the pie, 8 in the pie, and if you want all in the pie, it'll show you that as well, and you can actually rotate and click on it and see which one is large, landlord and tenant. You can see it as bar charts, like how your analytics was in that period. For fee book, you can see it as a table, like where it gives you the value and the percentage, so for that period how much money you made. Now there are several other analytics, like for example, you could look at pro bono. You can just say, hey, I want pro bono by hour for the entire year, and when you do that, what it'll do is it'll take the entire year and look at all your pro bono by hour, and it'll tell you like, hey, you did basically 81.2% of billable hours and 18.2 of pro bono. So that'll show it in bar chart and in tabular chart. You can also do it by client. You can say, hey, I want pro bono by client, right? And you can do it for the year. When you run that, it'll basically do the entire stuff by client. So it'll say, hey, Leslie was one of the clients, but I think the top client probably is in the bottom. And you can actually see it in a pie. When you see it in a pie, and you can reduce the number of pie, you can actually see that A1 Fills Incorporation got the maximum. Who's the best? The second. And you can keep going at the pie and slicing it and seeing how they all divvy up. You can see it by bar charts, you can see it in table. Similarly, there are other analytics that you can do. You can look at your expense categories and you can analyze that as well. Like when I click here, you can do an expense insight. You can say, hey, I want to look at my quarterly expense and see where am I spending a lot of money. So it looks like this quarter you spent about $37,000, and where was the biggest expense? The highest expense was in the category of expense on client, which is good. So out of the 37, 16,000 almost went to the client. So if I would actually do this, that's the second one. Office supplies, printing and stationery, LOS fee structure. You can also look at expense by category. You can say, hey, I want to look at expense by category, and you can say I want a quarterly view and do a go. Now instead of looking at it as insights, now you can look at it in a category. You can say, hey, it looks like consultancy, gas expense, miscellaneous was like, these are my areas of expenses by category. If you look at by client, right, and if you do that by quarterly, you will know like, hey, which client had the most expense. So clearly Yelney Hammer was the one, and Yelney Shah was the next, Henry Rodriguez. And then you can go more pies by increasing the slider window, and you can look at it in tabular format, where you can look at all your data. You can look at it in bar charts, by reducing, and you can see that. So analytics for you is now available on the phone, during your downtime. So you can go into account, click on the question mark and do accounting analytics. Matter analytics have always been available. You can go to any matter and all you need to do is click on this question mark and it will give you analytics for that matter, right? Like you could say, hey, I want to do ULAW insights for that. There's some invoice pending, number of invoices raised. You could always do that. But now we also offer you to do analytics at accounting level as well.